There was a time when losing your hair felt like losing a part of yourself, not just appearance but man would notice it slowly at first. A few extra hairs on the pillow, more strands trapped in a comb thinning line near the temples. Then one day he would look into water or a mirror and realize something terrifying. His hair was disappearing, and once it rarely stopped. Today, people spend billions trying to fight hair loss. Special shampoos, laser devices, hair transplants, treatments. Entire industries exist because humans fear going bald, but long before modern medicine created products like Minoxidil, long before pharmacies and cosmetic clinics covered city streets, there was an ancient oil whispered about across villages, kingdoms and empires, an oil made from a plant so common most people walk past it without thinking. Simple green herb with a powerful scent.
The ancient wisdom unfolds before us.
Those narrow leaves was something ancient people believed could protect the
herbs
scalp,
are strong today,
strengthen the hair, and possibly awaken growth itself. Thousands of years ago, people did not understand hormones or hair follicles. They did not know words like DHT or androgenic alopecia, but they observed patterns. They noticed stress, illness, poor diet, and aging often came before hair loss, and they searched nature desperately for answers. Some remedies failed, some became legends. Became one of the few that survived century after century. Ancient Greek scholars believed rosemary sharpened memory and strengthened the body. Students wore rosemary crowns, while studying warriors rubbed rosemary oils onto their skin before battle. But healers also began applying rosemary to the scalp because people noticed something unusual. Those who regularly used rosemary oils often seemed to keep thicker, healthier hair in. Ancient Rome, herbal oils became part of daily life, filled with steam herbs and medicinal scents. Rosemary-infused oils were massaged into the scalp, not only for appearance, but for circulation and vitality. People believed the warmth it created brought life back into the skin. Strangely, modern science now believes they may have been partially correct, because beneath every strand of hair lies something tiny follicles hidden under the scalp, and those follicles depend on blood flow, oxygen, nutrients, and hormonal balance.
Why is this happening to me?
Circulation
I can't believe how much it's thinned.
Risoswin, stress hormones, remain elevated for too long. The follicles slowly becomes thinner, weaker, shorten, till eventually some follicles stop producing visible hair at all. Hair loss treatments try to interrupt this process. Minoxidil, for example, works largely by increasing blood flow around follicles, helping stimulate growth. But here is where the story becomes fascinating. Researchers eventually decided to compare rosemary oil directly against minoxidil itself, not against fake remedies, not against placebo oil, against one of the most famous hair growth treatments in the world. The study lasted months. Participants applied rosemary oil consistently over time, while another group used minoxidil. At first, there seemed to be little difference, but as the months passed, something surprising happened. Hair counts improved in both groups, and many rosemary users reported less scalp irritation and itching. For many people, this was shocking because it suggested an ancient herbal remedy might actually influence hair growth in ways modern science could measure subtly. Rosemary stopped sounding like folklore, and the internet exploded. Videos began appearing everywhere. People massaging rosemary oil into bald spots, eyebrows. Gizism recorded month after month. Transformations, tiny soft hairs appearing where skin once looked empty. Others mixed rosemary with castor oil, black seed oil, coconut oil, or clovescree. Homemade formulas inspired by ancient traditions. And while not every story became a miracle, fascination kept growing, because deep down, people wanted to believe something powerful, that nature still held secrets modern industries could not completely replace. But Rosemary's story becomes even stranger in isolated villages across parts of the Mediterranean. Older generations sometimes used rosemary water almost daily. Branches soaked in hot water, then cooled into rinse, washed their hair with it after bathing. Some families believed it darkened hair over time. Others believed it protected against premature thinning. Whether every belief was true hardly mattered anymore, because the ritual itself survived for centuries, and ancient remedies do not survive that long unless people think they are working. Scientists now believe rosemary may help through multiple pathways, improving circulation around follicles, reducing oxidative stress, possibly lowering certain inflammatory effects connected to hair weakening, and perhaps even influencing hormones linked to hair loss. Though Research is still ongoing. But there is another reason. People may have trusted rosemary for so long. It smelled strong, herbal, earthy, almost sharp, and healers believed scents could affect the mind and body together. Today, stress remains one of the biggest hidden causes of hair-shedding modern life. Keeps the human nervous system under constant pressure, lack of sleep, anxiety, poor nutrition, stress hormones flooding the body daily. Hair often becomes one of the first visible victims, so when people massage rosemary oil slowly into the scalp at night, effect may be more than physical. It becomes ritual, a moment of coma, moment of hope, and hope itself can be powerful because hair loss affects people emotionally more than most. Amid some avoid mirrors, some wear hats, constantly some become obsessed with checking their hairline under bright lights. For many, it feels like time is winning, that youth is slipping away, strand by strand, is why the idea of a forgotten ancient oil feels almost magical, not because it promises instant miracles, but because it reconnects people to something older than modern advertising. Something human beings trusted long before billion-dollar cosmetic industries existed. Of course, rosemary oil is not magic, no. Plant can completely reverse every form of baldness. Still matter hormones, still matter, and damaged follicles may not always recover, but what makes rosemary extraordinary is that it crossed thousands of years of human history without disappearing. Rose and collapsed ancient kingdoms, turned into ruins, medicine transformed civilization, and somehow, rosemary remains still, growing wild under sunlight, carried in kitchens, still rubbed into scalps by people hoping to hold onto their hair a little longer. That kind of survival is rare because most ancient remedies vanish when they fail. The ones that remain often remain for a reason, and tonight, somewhere in the world, a person standing alone in front of a bathroom mirror will notice another strand of hair falling into their hand. They will search desperately for answers. Sammed. Eventually they may discover the same plant ancient healers trusted centuries ago. Small green herb with a powerful central ancient oil people once believed could wake sleeping hair back to life.